So a little bit of my disclaimer, not necessarily disclaimer. My disclaimer is like, hey, this is my lunchtime, whatever, and I'm trying to take that and use it um, however I can. But I had a classmate that I bumped into, and after talking for a while, they said, and let me be clear, I am not asking for anybody to respond to this. Oh, Texas, man. Napoleon Maddox is a world traveler. That is, he's all over the place. I can't keep up with him. I wonder is he in Texas is usually the spot where Ico shows up, and then he travels the country. So I don't know if that is a clue to what is going on in Texas, or if just this Napoleon is in Texas. But so my little bit of disclaimer, like I said, it's my lunchtime, so I'm gonna try to take that time, and I had a little technical difficulty, so now it's less time, so I'm gonna try to speed through this. But I ran into a classmate, and a classmate said to me, they described me as tone deaf, aloof, and unable to read the room. And I, I received that, and I want to let you know I'm working on myself. Again, I'm not looking for anybody to say anything pro or con or punch down or lift me up or whatever. I'm saying I'm working on myself. I'm trying to acknowledge that, and hopefully, if that is indeed the case, if I determine that's where I'm at, then I just need to work on myself, and so I promise, and I make that commitment to myself and to anyone and to the Most High that I'm gonna try to reflect upon that and do better if I can. Okay, so this whole the title of this is My Hidden Figures Origin Walkthrough and Live Posting. So my plan is I hope to explain the whole My Hidden Figures project that I'm doing, and I hope to give you kind of a walkthrough on how I do it, and I hope to actually post live while I'm in this live. So I used to listen to, well, I still do. I listen to a lot of podcasts, how this whole thing started. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I stumbled upon, and speaking of stumbling upon, I'm glad we got disconnected because somewhere along the line, somebody stumbled into the room where I'm at, and it would have been like a whatever. And so I'm just glad we didn't have that cross traffic. But so I used to listen to these podcasts. One of the podcasts I used to listen to was called Smart Passive Income, and the host was Pat Flynn. And so, what Pat Flynn used to talk about, he was talking about how he had smart passive income, as the title implies. He'd create little websites that had certain niches, and if you wanted to know about widgets, he'd create a little widget website and he'd put ads on it. And he created all these little tiny websites, and he started getting little bits of income to the point where he eventually quit his day job and he just survived off of what he called smart passive income. And some kind of way I got on his mailing list, and he sent out in one year, it was December, and he sent out this email that says, hey, I got this motivational calendar. I'm happy to motivate you in the new year. And it was free, and I'm like, I could use some motivation. Who couldn't? And so I signed up to get the free calendar, and it was a PDF, and I opened it up in my email, and I saw it, and I appreciated it. But it was a whole bunch of people in there, like, I don't know, Mike Seltzer and some other podcast heroes from around the world. And they had great motivational content. And the challenge for me was that I didn't really know any of them. I really don't know Pat Flynn, but I know Pat Flynn better than all of the faces that were on this calendar. And I just it didn't resonate with me. The faces that I saw were not familiar to me. And so I thought, well, you know what? I could do a calendar, and I could do a calendar of people that are familiar to me. And so, this all happened in December, and as I was kind of planning it out and I was thinking about it, February was rolling around. And February, of course, is here in the United States, is Black History Month. And so I thought, well, wait a minute. Not only could I pick people that resonate with me, that people that I know, I could pick out black folks in the month of February for Black History Month. And the idea is not to take away from Black History Month and the traditional folks that um, that we highlight, but it was to Dr. Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. I don't want to take anything away from them, but what I want to do is add to it. And so, as the name implies, My Hidden Figures. I had just seen the movie My Hidden Figures, and I loved how they picked characters from, not characters, but people from history that may or may not be well known, and that they were hidden figures. And so I thought, you know what, I got some hidden figures. And I've been through a lot of different, not necessarily walks of life, but situations and jobs, and I kind of work in entertainment a little bit, been in radio, been on TV a little bit, worked on computers, worked at radio station, and I've had a lot of different experiences. And I thought, I have most deaf. I have I have a lot of people that I think that I could cross pollinate, like folks that I know from entertainment, like for instance Napoleon Maddox. He says he's right now in Texas, and some of the people that I work with right now may not know Napoleon Maddox. So if I can highlight Napoleon Maddox, and if I can show folks, hey, this is who this guy is, you might want to follow him and check out his work. That's Black history to me. We creating history right now. And so what I do is, just throughout the year, I just kind of keep um or what you call it, I keep a running tally. I keep a spreadsheet. And if somebody comes to mind, I just add them to the little spreadsheet. And then when it comes time for it, I sort that spreadsheet. I'm pointing over here because it's on this monitor. I sort that spreadsheet alphabetically. And so today, at the time of this recording, is February 7th, 2025. And in theory, this content is somewhat evergreen. So you can watch it in theory right now, or if it shows up somewhere else, you could watch it somewhere else, and the story remains the same. And as long as Black History Month continues, the idea could be the same. And so, when I say February 7th, 2025, if I look at my spreadsheet, I know that yesterday, the 6th, I highlighted Chiquita Hughes. And most folks might know her as Michelle Hughes, but her name is Chiquita, so she came in alphabetically. And after that, today is Chris Huffman. So let me just copy that name from the spreadsheet and just put it in the what you call it right there. I wonder if I can just even tag him, Chris Huffman. Yeah, I'm putting him in. I'm putting him right in. I just tagged him right there in the what? In the chat over here. So now that might not be evergreen, right? Like if somebody's watching this and hey, I'm doing this chat. If this ends up on YouTube somewhere, you may not get the interaction. For what it's worth, this is a Facebook Live video that I'm doing right now. So once I got the person, this is kind of going into how I do that. I come up with a I come up with what? I come up with some words about that person. And it's all kind of the same. I kind of just reach back and think, and full disclosure, and a little, maybe I'm not maybe this is not necessarily cool, but sometimes I'm using Chat GPT. And I'll tell you, like, I might feed Chat GPT the whole fundamentals of what I would like to say, and then Chat GPT may formulate. Now, this is the first year for that. But I'll tell you, in previous years, I've just been kind of stressed out because I want to highlight someone, and I want to come from the heart, and I want to say things that make sense, and that, again, are coming from the heart and are authentic. And sometimes I just stumble over my words. So I've learned, like, I kind of type it up in Notepad, and then I'll put it in Microsoft Word, and to check my spelling and to check my grammar. And so then I may have mentioned that I go out on social media and I try to find a profile picture that this person has posted. And the reason why I use a profile picture is because I feel like if you are that individual and that is something that you are proud of in some way, if you are comfortable enough to have it as your calling card, your your first image that somebody sees, then I'll take one of those images and then I'll add my little logo on it and then I'll repost it. And so I've already done that, and I've already typed up something about Mr. Huffman. And that's a little fun fact that when me and Chris Huffman used to work together, there were so many Chris's in the area that I started calling them by their last name, which sometimes at my job people call me Mr. Butch, and that's funny because I kind of push back on that a little bit. I got a holiday greeting, and it was to Mr. Butch, and it was from three different people, but they listed themselves by their last names, and I was like, what? Wait a minute, why are they calling me by my first name? And somebody said, well, that's because we said that's what you want us to call you. I don't know, but anyway, so I started calling everybody by their last name, Mr. such and such. So Mr. Huffman, right? So now that I got Mr. Huffman, I got some stuff I wrote about him, and I see y'all in the comments over there, and I'm gonna acknowledge it, but I'm running out of time. This might have to go over. Just saying. So I write the things I want to write about Mr. Huffman. I get the picture that I want to use. I put my little logo on it. I size it so it's 600 by 600, so it's square, so it can go on various platforms. So then I find my album. And one of the extra things that I've done, I find my photo album. The first place I go is Facebook. And so I find the album, the My Hidden Figures album, and I choose the option to upload a photo. And I may have mentioned that this is happening live. Like, I'm doing this live, and I'm uploading this stuff live. So it's like double duty, right? Live on top of live. It's like Inception. But so I add to the album. And what I have discovered is that places like Facebook or Instagram, they offer you a lot of leeway or ability to put more text into the into your post. And so, if I got a couple different paragraphs about Mr. Huffman that I'm about to have, now I've posted his picture, and I'm also going to tag him there. So I'm tagging him in the picture that I just uploaded, but it's his picture, he should know. And then I'll edit the description, and I'll put all the things about him. And now, and for what it's worth, I am not sure if I've met Mr. Huffman's wife, but I know he's married, and I added her in there. I am not sure how many kids he has, but I know I've met one, and she works at a car dealership, and I've always just had great interaction with her, and I just bought some parts down there, so I added her in there as well. So now I post that, right, and so what should happen if you're in live watching me, or if you're just on Facebook, what should happen, and now I'll close out of that, is that when and if I go back to my page and refresh it, it should show that I'm live, but then now it shows that I just posted that with Mr. Huffman. Now, then I go through other platforms. So I might go to, for instance, Instagram. And I mentioned Instagram, like I said before, because Facebook and Instagram both offer seemingly the most space to be able to post information. So all the things that I want to say about Mr. Huffman, I can put them in Facebook, and I can put them mostly in Instagram. But it looks like I ran out. Hey, good morning. It looks like I ran out of space on Instagram based on how much I had to say about Mr. Huffman. But I share it there. And as I mentioned, I put the description, first I started in Notepad, and then I copy it into Word. And what I started learning and doing is that when and if I post on other platforms, like, say, for instance, Twitter doesn't give me all the leeway to be able to post as much as I would like to. So I can only I could only post so much. But as I mentioned, I put that description into Word. And so I have a Word document saved under that same name. And I export that Word. This is like, I'm giving you real details here, right? I export that Word document, or I save it as a PDF. Then I open up Adobe Acrobat and I convert that PDF to either a JPEG. I convert it to a graphic so that when I go to someplace like Twitter, that doesn't give me the opportunity to post all the good things that I want to post. I actually have it in a graphic. So um, that means I'm posting two graphics, and um, one of them will be a graphic that you have to read, right? It's just text. But let's see. I'm doing that now. Like I'm on Twitter, and I just posted those two things. One, Mr. Huffman's picture, and then two, the graphic that has all of the information that I wanted to say about him. And so that's on Twitter. And then so I got it right now. I got it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I am going to go to LinkedIn. And so LinkedIn, I'm pretty sure, also offers that opportunity to post as much as you want. So there, I'm going to post the picture and then post the entire text as a description onto LinkedIn. And okay, so success there. Then also, what's that other thing? Threads. Threads is a new thing. So I'm gonna go to Threads, and Threads also has the challenge. It doesn't give you that much opportunity to. You don't have that. I'm not sure what the character limit is on Threads. But what I'll do is I go back to, or do I? Oh, I was going to say I go back to Twitter and copy, but I got a way around it. So on Threads, I'll post my whole description that I want, but then I just delete what doesn't fit. And so that's what I'm doing right now. On Threads. Oh yeah, okay. And then I'm getting to that. So, question in the chat was how do I post to the different groups that I post to? So, give me a second. I'm coming to that because that takes a different device, right? So I got it on Threads. And what's the other one? There's another one out there. I just got on. Oh, what's it? Wherever it's at. I got so many tabs up here. It's called Blue Sky. So I'm gonna do Blue Sky. And the point of that is, it's like I'm just trying to like I said, start a movement. Like this is a thing. Like everybody can post, anyone and everyone who may have influenced them at some time, and it doesn't have to be uh, Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman, or whoever. And again, not to take anything away from them, but you got people in your own life that may have influenced you. And so, wow, okay. So this one's not giving, it's a lot less room. Wow, 228 over the, wow, 90 over the over the limit. Okay, finally got it down. So that's Blue Sky. So Blue Sky seems to give you the least amount. So, um, okay, so I got it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Threads, Blue Sky. So I've hit on 6 different places. And so now, wow, getting back to the comments. Uh, go Steelers, right? Um, oh man. All right. Uh, good morning. Good morning, everybody. And so the question in the chat is how do I get them into the different groups? So now that I have it, now that I have this posted, and for what it's worth, I'm doing this on a desktop. Well, I'm doing it on a Windows-based computer. Is where this is happening at. And what I discovered is that depending upon the device you have, and so this is a an Android device, and I don't know if I can show you this, but what I can show is that, well, I'll try. So when I go to my um well, okay, my Facebook profile, right? And I look on here, I may not be able to do this in what in here. I may not have, but what I do is I go on the mobile app, and under the bottom is an option. Oh, there it is. It's popping up. Under the bottom, there's an option to share. And what pops up is in the top, it gives you option to of where to share at. Oh, can you see that? Okay. But down here at the bottom, it's well, and at the top, you have an option where you can select feed, and then it gives you the option in a group. And I used to do that, but I recognize that down here, there's the option that says feed. At this current time, on this current version of Android or whatever it is. But then I hit group, and it shows me all these different groups. And I can go and just check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 groups. 10 groups at a time. And the groups that I'm posting them in are designed for this kind of stuff. It's designed for you to post stuff in it, promotional stuff. I hit save. Let's see, the last one that I did was positive waveforms. So I hit save, and then it says I've got 10 groups. I hit post, and it'll go to all those groups. Right, nice. So then I'm gonna hit share again, and I hit groups again, and I remember where I stopped at positive waveforms. So now I'm gonna go into oh, did I do level up business events? I'm not sure if I did. Uh-oh, I might have doubled up. Embrace the movement. I'm gonna put it in there. Quiet Giant, local legends. This is what I do. Come support me. I will support you. You know you from Cincinnati. If Flavor Talks show, you heard it first. Street and local news. Uh, and one, the knockin' music DJ pool. It only takes one. So that's 10 more. Hit save. Post. And so now I done shared it to 20 groups. And sometimes it just kind of depends on who it is and what I'm sharing to kind of determine what groups I'll go into and what groups are are friendly like that. See, like I got groups called Exciting News, and that's kind of designed for that. It's designed to post exciting news. Black owned business connect Cincy. Now, because Chris Huffman is an entrepreneur, I'm gonna post it in that group. Now they may refuse. I don't know. Um, let me see how many more groups I got here that are like that. Um, okay, and I'm not sure if I have any more groups. um, that are, oh, Black Economic Empowerment. I'll put Chris Huffman in that group. And that might be it. So you may or may not see like when and if I'm posting these. That's if you post watching me or whatever. That you may notice that there are some groups. I mean some of my hidden figure posts that may go to 10 groups. Some may go to 20, and it just kind of depends on who they are. Like I posted on the 3rd Anton Moore. Now Anton Moore is he's the founder of a group called DJ at the Polls. So I posted him in various DJ groups thinking that DJs would appreciate who he is based upon, in addition to what I'm trying to do with the whole my hidden figures kind of movement. But I think I stayed within I had to restart this video because of some sound problems. So I'm pretty sure I stayed within my 30-minute limit, and I appreciate anybody and everybody who has tuned in now during the live, and it maybe has even followed along during the live posting here, because I was looking and I saw it on the phone where it said that it posts, but sometimes, let's see, let me look at the news feed, and I'll see multiple instances where it shows that I've posted in different groups as I go down through the news feed. So hopefully, if you got something out of that, and if nothing else, it's just kind of an explanation of what I'm doing and how I do it. And I hope it catches on. I hope that folks don't send stuff to me like, hey, add this person to your My Hidden Figures. No. Create your own. Like if you look in the and you don't have to use my little graphics. I'm just saying that globally, or at least nationally, I guess nationally, we celebrate Black History Month in February. And I'm just saying that sometimes it seems as if we are celebrating the same people when there are people in your life that can and should be celebrated. Give folks their flowers now. So that's my time, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And like I said, if this pops up somewhere else, in theory it's evergreen, and that the idea should live on. Beyond what I am doing here, I would like to see the idea live on, and that folks who are walking around on the planet in the present should be encouraged and get encouragement and should get their flowers now. Let folks know that they made an impact on you. So I want to know who your hidden figures are. But hey, that's all I got. I'm gonna end it like I've been ending it. Stay black till we get back. Stay white. It's all right. Whatever color that you see when you look in the mirror, we're all one race, the human race, under one God. Until we meet again, peace. I love you. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.